just tried to see how accurate, the numbers that Ms. Vicky put out earlier today were. And her math was correct, her numbers were wrong. The numbers that she had on her form, the math that she did on the form was correct. The numbers that were sent to the paper were wrong. We went back and did the math for the correct numbers that should have been in the paper. I'm responsible for sending numbers to the paper, and it was sent, with wrong numbers on it. We went back to see what happened, we just checked a few minutes ago to see what happened, and the wrong numbers were sent. So the numbers that she had, the math that she did with the numbers she had was correct. Those numbers were wrong. They weren't reflective of the budget inside of there, and we have gone back and done the math. So obviously we didn't come up with the same numbers that she did because we had different numbers than what she used to do the math. So the increase would be the 94.29%. The millage before the rollback would be 17.24. When you roll it back 4.34, that would give you 12.89, which was the original number that we came up with. And that's the number.
But I want to interject right here too as well. Here's the paper, and you can see if you want to pass it around, but the numbers were in the paper wrong. And but we have also this afternoon studied the budget and the numbers religiously. And I do feel like that many of us, as I said, I'm a citizen too, and it would have impacted me as well. And so what we're going to go back and do, if it's okay with you all, we're going to meet with each department head starting on tomorrow, and hopefully we can get through with that tomorrow. And we're going to go, because all of that, the 12.8 that we came up with, it was put into the system, and that's what it gave us based upon the budgets that the department heads had done. And the department heads, we met with each department head as well as with the finance committee, and we tried to streamline it as much as possible, but realizing that with the increase like it is, we're going to go back. That's what we talked about right earlier. We're going to go back and ask each department head to meet with us on tomorrow, and we're going to go back and try to cut out as much as possible. So we're asking the department heads to be patient with us and you all as well, and to, some of them, most of it was lack of need, and then some of it may have been a want. So we're gonna go back and deal strictly with the budgets. And there were some increases. Everybody know that the insurance rates and everything, stuff went up. So we're gonna go back and deal with what we know that would be a need, more so than a want. And we ask that you be patient with us in doing this, and hopefully we can get it done tomorrow with each department head. We're gonna schedule appointments with them, and hopefully we can get it down to a comfortable millage rate, if that is permissible and agreeable with y'all. And we ask that you all allow us that opportunity to do so, because other than that, we do know that things do go up, but we're gonna make sure that it's not 12. It's not set at 12. So we're gonna work with that. So allow us that opportunity to work with the department heads starting on tomorrow morning at 9, that we can work with them by the close of business tomorrow. We will have work with these department heads to make sure that we can roll this down to a comfortable number. We do know that it was at 7. Am I correct with that? 7, and it may be.
It was
6.8. Yeah, 6.8
last year.
Yeah, and we're gonna hopefully get a number that is gonna be comfortable, that the department heads can say that we can live with that, because we don't want to have any of our constituents and our citizens in town saying that we're trying to hike it up or whatever. But anyway, we'll work with them, and if you will allow us on tomorrow, and then we'll get back and put it in the paper as well, to make sure that we can have another hearing. I know we're racing against the time clock with this, but we'll do our darndest in the next few days to have this resolved, hopefully by the end of the week, that we all can come back together. Is that okay with everyone?
With all that being said, you won't be able to vote on on this next city meeting.
We will not Monday night, exactly. You're gonna have to come back, we will not be able to vote on it, you're absolutely right. And, we're gonna make sure, as I said, that we work with, in a manner that you all will be comfortable with this, okay? And, I know it's like it was 6 something or whatever, then we hope to take it up a few, and hopefully we will be able to operate this city without going in the hole, okay?
Ms. Carolyn, when are we still gonna hold the 9 o'clock meeting Thursday, or are we gonna delay that?
We'll have to delay that. And we'll come back to the table, by the end of the week, and it may have to be where that we can come back to the table on Thursday with you all. I'm not sure, all depends upon how expeditiously we work tomorrow with this and trying to resolve this issue.
So how are y'all gonna let us know when there's another meeting?
Well,
Same way
we'll put it in the paper, what was,
Ronnie's
Ronnie's
over
over
there.
there.
okay, Ronnie, put it in the paper, if you don't mind, I think, we said we had us do it tonight. That maybe by Thursday, we could have another, meeting as well, and, hopefully we will have.
Okay, what are you saying now? You may have another meeting this Thursday?
Yeah, we're gonna try to do, tomorrow's Wednesday,
Yeah.
and hopefully by, Thursday, we should have this pretty much under control, that we can say we've looked at every budget and every department head, and we've met with them to see what they can cut out of their budget. Cut out of the budget, that we can bring that millage rate down.
But that
They got
meeting might be Thursday, cause
Yes,
it will
uh-huh.
go in the paper, so that would be a
You
might.
can put it, well, you can go ahead and put it in, and we'll work today.
Okay, you're going to work for a meeting on Thursday.
On Thursday.
This
Thursday.
I can't be here
You
Thursday
can't be in
morning.
Thursday,
Morning.
Thursday afternoon, we're talking about,
Yeah.
maybe around this time.
At what time?
About 5 o'clock Thursday afternoon, 5 o'clock Thursday afternoon, we should be able to get back with you all, and once we plug the, figures into the PT 32. Once we plug the figures into the PT 32, it should give us what it is, and we'll try to keep working until we get it to a comfortable, millage rate.
I'm just curious, what was the amount of taxes that you put in the budget? What was your revenue figure that was in the budget?
The revenue,
In the budget.
I don't have that here with me, I don't, whatever, I don't have it. And that had been,
676,468.
I'm sorry, what?
676,468.
So you were planning on collecting, you needed $676,000?
No, the revenue that was coming off collecting was 723,090.
No, tell me 723,000 or 72,000, 7,000, what are you saying?
723,090.
32,000.
So that's 723,009.
That's what?
Okay, that's what I'm trying to figure out.
Okay, that was needed to be able to operate a budget, of all propane. So we're gonna try our best to come up with, some kind of way, and as I said, meeting with the department heads. Each department had some things in there that, we hope we can work it out. But, you know, in terms of that, and, as I said, it's not gonna be a wish list, it's gonna be what you desperately need to be able to protect. And, that's it.
I'm gonna go with it.
Okay, all right, okay. You can run it, Thursday evening
I got it.
at, 5 o'clock. You know, we'll try to have something, for you all Thursday afternoon based upon, and putting it into the, PT 32 and seeing what kind of rate, that we can come up with.
Is there any, have you thought anything about just freezing the budget and saying we're gonna use last year's budget
Well,
instead of,
if you won't be able to, and not.
I'm talking about it saying, whatever your budget was last year, that's what it's gonna be this year. We'll have to maybe increase a few things, maybe salaries, or make some adjustments
Insurance,
there.
insurance is a lot.
Oh, I know. I know.
And we pay for everybody's insurance individually in the city, and that's been going on for years. No one, and we may have to go to the fact that we start having employees contribute towards the insurance. I don't know, but it's been hard because insurance has gone up
Oh, yeah.
tremendously. And, that's one of the hiccups that we're having to deal with as well. There was a question of,
Yes. So is there, so the amount that was initially, I would say, moving to be approved, that just based off of what the department heads say they want?
No,
It was, cause we went back before this and streamlined the budget, it was more than that. And we went back and streamlined the budget then, pretty much what we felt like they could get away with. But now it's gonna have to be pretty much, and I hate to say go back to the old budget, cause we've been kicking the can down the road with that old budget for, around 7 years. 7 years that budget has not gone up, and, but the prices have gone up. No one ever shored up the budget enough to the actual cost that it was costing the city, and in all honesty, when I looked at the health insurance, and I was just like, wow, we spent $1,000, how much it is? $1,500 some dollars for each employee in the city monthly. For every employee in the city. So I don't know how we're gonna be able to get around with that as well, because as I said, it's eating pretty good. But anyway, we will go back to the table, and it's gonna be pretty much where the spending is going, we're gonna have to have a moratorium on the spending.
And the city pays for the employees, all the employees'
Yes.
health insurance?
Oh,
They
yes.
do.
Yes.
Oh, look.
Yeah, and there aren't too many places, that, an employee get away with, an agency paying all of their insurance.
No, I had to pay for it mine.
That's
I did
right,
too.
exactly, and we may have to work towards that, yes. Okay. Any other questions?
Can I just say, I think myself, I still don't see where where the 1289 is supposed to be 17 cents, I don't understand that. But the part about the employees' insurance, honestly, nobody that works anywhere that I know of gets their insurance paid for totally by who they work for.
You're absolutely right.
They have to pay.
Absolutely right.
I always did, and that needs to happen, because, people here make the same kind of salary that everybody else makes on the streets, and nobody's ever paid all my insurance. I get a big hump out of my check when I worked, and still do then when I retired. So there's no free insurance for anybody.
Well, that's something we may have to look at in terms of that.
That is a question I was gonna ask. So how can you go into reviewing a change like that made? Because I know that does affect the employees, but if you're going up on taxes, then everybody's paying for their insurance, their salaries and all of that.
Well, that's something we would have to get with the insurance company, because we have already started that for the, everybody has already done that for the year. When did we do that? Back in April. We've already renewed for the year, and that's what we got.
But so that's been renewed, but the taxes are gonna go up after April, so why couldn't that be drafted for what changes are made when it comes to what employees have to pay?
We're gonna look at it.
And if it's not addressed now, then it's gonna come up in April.
Yeah, exactly. We're gonna look at it. In terms of what percentage that an employee would have to pay, because a lot of times when you got family coverage or whatever it is, and that's another thing, with family coverage or whatever it is, so we got to take a look at all that, get with the insurance company, who that we're with, Anthem, we just switched insurance company back here a few months ago, trying to get a cheaper rate, but we may have to meet with Anthem to be able to institute, something else a little differently from what we've been doing, but definitely, fuel has gone up, gas has gone up, with the police cars and everything, and, the cost of living is pretty much going up for everybody.
Well, I think there's several ways to look at it, right? Because you can say, okay, let's go ahead on and generate a plan. So let everybody know who work for the city know, okay, at this certain time, we either gonna have to go with the city's insurance, or we're gonna have to find our own insurance.
Oh, we can handle that, that's all we have to do.
Can I say something on that? That's the only thing, and I don't, make it clear, yes, I work part-time for the city, I don't get city insurance, so I'm not saying this for me, okay? But the only thing I'm gonna say, you're gonna hire a cop, a police officer, for example, at $19,000 a year. You can't hire them now.
No,
You can't find staff now. You can't find staff to cut your grass now, because you're paying $8 an hour. You're paying $19,000 a year. then you go turn around and tell them they gotta pay for their own insurance?
Well,
You
okay.
ain't gonna have nobody.
Okay, now we're at Obamacare. We've got Obamacare. If a person makes only $19,000 a year, they can basically split their insurance.
But what we're gonna do,
That shouldn't happen.
let me say this.
I know that, but I'm saying.
Let me say this. Let me say this, we're gonna take a look at it, and we're gonna ask that they still pay a percentage of it, not to pay all of it, but to pay a percentage of it. That would help us out a lot, because we're talking about $1,500 a month for everybody, that's a lot. And, for every employee, the cops, and, the street lane workers, everybody. So we're gonna take a look at it and, come up with a percentage that they have to pay. I can't tell you that it would be 50%, I can't tell you it's gonna be 60-40, 70-30, whatever it is, but every little bit will help, we're gonna take a look at it, okay? Yes, ma'am.
And anytime that I've been working where you had emails.
Let us respect each other while we're talking so we can hear one another.
If insurance is offered to them, then you consider that a part of your salary package. So you add that into the bottom.
Well, we
line.
did, it's, they're getting a pretty good salary, yeah, with that, with the insurance.
And I would like to ask too, who actually prepares the budget for the city?
Who prepares the budget?
Who prepares
We
the
sit, the
budget?
finance committee, we sit down with the department heads and
So
go
what
there.
kind of training, what kind of, how do you qualify to be able to do that? I mean, have y'all done budgets
Yeah,
for cities
Yeah.
before?
yeah, well, I do budgets every day for the federal government,
Okay, apparently,
constantly, I'm working on one now.
nobody understands the budget because we can't, it's that we're behind, nobody knows where the money's gone, and we can't
We
find where
have-
the money's gone.
Okay, we have a system here in this, city.
But we heard this morning that the system is not working.
Yeah, it's not.
It's not working, so
The
that's.
software,
that's
the software, but we hired this, Kelly McCray here, she's doing an excellent job. And, just this afternoon, we talked about that,
So is
making
she,
sure,
I know you said you're the finance clerk,
she's been to school, she's been to training.
okay, but I'm just saying, do we have like an internal auditor?
Yes, ma'am.
That does something like that?
Yes,
Do we-
ma'am.
Do we have an accounting
Yes,
office
ma'am.
that we submit things to?
Yes,
I'm just
ma'am.
asking.
Yes,
Do
ma'am.
you also submit a budget report each month on the meeting? That would be something good that.
We're looking at that. We've
everybody
been-
look at.
Yes, ma'am, we're talking about
So
that
we
as
can
well,
see
so each
before it gets
department
this
head.
far behind and we get
Yes,
just
ma'am.
in debt.
Yes, ma'am, this part, what we're doing is, working with the, we hired a lady that does QS1, and, she knows it like the back of her hand. And, that's what we're trying to generate, we've been trying to do this for the longest, trying to generate for each department what their budget currently is, and where they are, and what percentage they are at. And it will let them know that, you need to hold up, whatever, and curtail spending, so that's what we're trying to do
Because
with
you
each
know, like you're
department.
saying, keep doing it,
Yes,
you'll
ma'am,
get the
same thing, you gotta do
right?
something differently, yes,
You
ma'am,
gotta do something different.
Yes,
It's really
ma'am.
embarrassing for
Yes,
somebody to
ma'am.
say, I hear your city's broke.
yes, ma'am, yes, ma'am, but, I
We
mean,
shouldn't be in that.
we're not broke now, we're not broke, it might have been
But we
broke, but it's
have.
not true,
But we
okay,
have.
yes, ma'am. I thank God that we have, gotten to the point wherein that we haven't had to pay any back bills. And that's what we're working, we're caught up with everything. But in order for us to survive at the rate that, the cost of living is right now, that's what we're talking about.
We all want the same thing.
Yes, ma'am,
You know, we all want the same thing, but we don't wanna have a budget that we don't know where the money's going.
yes.
We wanna
But
have
trust me, the system that we do have, it is accountable. And, we do have the, what is it? Matthew Kane that works with us as well.
You
And,
know, and like you said this morning, it needs to be transparent. It
Transparent,
does.
you're
When somebody
absolutely
asks you for a figure, or asks Nivea, or asks, Kelly, they need to be able to give it to you.
Amen, amen. And that, we're about at that point where you can mash your button, okay? And that's been with QS1 as well, to mash your button. And when I tell you there's not another city in this vicinity, in this area that deals with QS1, it is a booger, okay? It does everything, the billing, the water bills, everything, the payroll, everything. And, but we're at the point now where we can do a revenue and expenditure report. We almost had to hit a button. Kelly's been feeding it into the system, and she's learning that really well. So, if you'll be patient with us, we will have those monthly, reports for the revenue and expenditure that has for each department. Yes, sir.
I checked this afternoon on the city's website, the budget reports
Yes, sir.
and, council meeting minutes and stuff. Budget reports haven't been reported for a couple of years on the website.
Well-
And neither has, in over a year, the, minutes from the city council meeting. Who's
Well,
responsible for that?
to be honest with you, I don't ever recall it being put on the website for the budget reports. I'm gonna say the monthly budget reports. I don't ever recall I don't ever recall those budget reports, they weren't. But we're trying to, move forward and bring it up into, technology, the 21st century with all of that, with technology. And hopefully we're gonna be able to do that as soon as we can. And as I said, Ms. Kelly is doing an excellent job with this as well. And, we're trying to make sure that, we get those things in and it is keyed into the system and keyed in right, okay? Because there's so many codes, and we try to make sure that it be done. But in just a little while, we should be able to mash a button, am I right? With Elaine, mash a button, and you will get that, revenue and expenditure report that so many have been looking for and waiting on.
So y'all, I gotta ask a question, so y'all
Yes, sir.
still standing firm on that 94.29% that is correctly done?
Now,
We're gonna have our tax increases?
We're gonna go back, as I said earlier, on Thursday, we're gonna work tomorrow diligently to go back and try, because all of that is based upon what the budget is. That's how you get that number according to what the budget is. And the budget, we're gonna go back, starting tomorrow morning. We're gonna go back with each department head, and we're gonna see how we can trim the fat.
So, I gotta ask, any other city, when they do a tax increase, it's usually 12-14%, which is understandable. But when you come out with 94.29%, there needs to be an explanation behind it.
Yes, sir.
You know,
Yes, sir.
really.
Yes, sir. And some of this stuff, as I said, I have the paper here with me, and we spotted some stuff in here that was advertised incorrectly. And, but certainly, we will, get clarity with this.
But there's been a lot of wrongs and not too many rights.
Yes, sir.
And I mean, inconvenience for people, like we had the September the 6th meeting.
Yes, sir.
Everybody was gonna come to the meeting, and
Yes,
guess
sir.
what? They didn't even publicize it. Y'all had publicized it, made it.
Well, it was an error, I don't know.
Well, I don't know how an
Yes,
error
sir.
can happen like
But
that.
no, what I'm
because
saying,
It went to the newspaper, and the newspaper had a paper trail coming from the city. And the
Well-
city actually put that advertisement out there. They didn't make a misprint.
yes, sir. Well,
And
anyway, I-
then again, now we got another meeting that we came to at 11 and one at 6. And now we're supposed to have a meeting on the 14th, and now y'all are saying that maybe not, maybe we're not gonna have one at 9, but maybe we're gonna have one at 5. There's a lot of
No, it'll
people
be
here,
5.
there's a lot of people here that work. And there's a lot of people who have to come and understand and make, preparations to be here.
yes, sir.
And we wanna be here, and we're concerned. Because once we double our taxes, what's that gonna do to everybody else around us,
Yes, sir.
Even the people who rent, it's gonna increase their, rates also.
Well, one of the things that we, I don't mean to cut you off. I'm sorry, go ahead.
But now, there's places that y'all can go and get money. I'm sure there's a lot of taxes that haven't been collected in the past. And there's a lot of property that the city owns that possibly they could sell off. There's a lot of money sitting around that could be collected,
Yes, sir.
and
And believe it or
if
not,
we have an attorney that does her job and was to do it right, we wouldn't be in this situation right now. And if we had somebody who added and put together millage rates the way they're supposed to, we wouldn't be in this situation right now, and everybody would be home. So if there was an actual mistake, y'all gonna correct the mistake and tell us when.
we will meet with you all again on Thursday afternoon at 5. Is that okay? The time, is that all right with everyone? 5, 6, what time you want to meet? Six.
6, right?
Six, okay.
It just went to the paper. But you just went to the paper with.
Well, I mean, we can
So
call
that's
it,
gonna be confusing
we can
for
call
some
it,
people.
we can call it.
That's what he said, 5 o'clock.
Yeah, I mean, we did say 5, but I'm asking you, it's 5, he said 5 o'clock, I mean, if you all are working, so it's 5 o'clock not conducive for you all?
Well, I'm just saying that before, when you had posted the 3 meetings or whatever, you had posted it at 6, I think. I don't have it right here before me.
but I think it had posted at 6, so then if you move it back to 5, it doesn't matter, it's 5 or 6, but it can be very confusing for some people.
And some people are.
I think it needs to be consistent.
Okay, well, because of what we're dealing with here today, we're gonna have to revisit that 9-something for Thursday, only because of what's happening here today. But if you give us a chance, I don't know if we can contact him, maybe you
But
can call
whatever
him
you
and
do,
tell
you
him
just
it's
need to
6.
be consistent with it.
Okay, we will contact, Mr. McCall. Yeah, but we will contact Mr. McCall if you can and tell him it's 6 o'clock. Have you done that?
8 o'clock tonight to get in.
Okay, and then everything right now is null and void for, right now, on the table is Thursday at 6, if we can reach him. Okay, Libby, did you call? Okay, if we can reach him, if it's okay, Thursday at 6, so we can revisit what the village rate is and see if we can get it where it will come down, where everybody is comfortable with it, okay?
I'm gonna.
Okay.
My question, set on 6?
6, if we can get, Ronnie, you got it, okay, 6 o'clock, that'll be fine. Yes, sir.
My question is about the, $400,000 purchase that was made. I looked into it today, there was $200,000 that was put down. The other $200,000 was financed at 9% interest, owner finance. So I'm curious why the city is owner financing something at such a high interest rate.
Well,
And why the city paid $400,000 for something, excuse me, that the gentleman paid $145,000.
well, you know, he bought it for that price. This
He
might-
bought it at that price, 24 months,
I
and
know.
then 24 months later, we paid $400,000. He bought 7 acres, we bought 2.45,
It's no different than the elementary school over here.
which y'all should have bought for $45,000.
Well, the thing,
It was offered to us at $1 million.
yeah,
They offered it to us for
so
$1
the,
million.
so the
And
man
they
bid
want us
it,
to pay
he bid it
$40,000.
on
Did you
it.
bid on it?
Why didn't y'all bid it on?
You should
Well,
have.
We
well-
were told to bid at $1 million.
But, you know,
Who's y'all's financial advisor?
well, the thing about it is the maintenance, the maintenance on that bill, the maintenance on that bill.
But my question is, why is the city owner financing something
Exactly.
at 9%? Was there an appraisal?
Yes, it was, yes, it
Was
was.
there an appraisal?
I don't have it here, I think we do have it though.
No, there
So we
wasn't.
need to have those documents before we have it.
Well, anyway, whatever, we'll try to have all that for you too as well. The building,
Is there any way y'all can get out of that?
No, they have a balloon payment March 25 for
it's that won't
$160,000.
happen.
You're paying $1,600 a month for 23 months, balloon
And
payment.
I'm just saying, but that's not happening. You're not paying anything.
That's what your security needs is.
But there's no way y'all can get out of that.
No, and let me say this, okay? It might have been a bad venture for somebody,
Yeah.
for you all, and you always
Yeah,
say
it was.
that, let me finish, Mr. Crosby, okay? It may be a bad venture, but the thing was, is that we had guys who were sick, the city, contemplating suing the city, with black mold. And, one man was in the hospital, and they were told not to go back into that building. So I don't know where we could have worked, I don't know where they could have worked and put the equipment.
You could lease that school, I feel certain.
Oh, at the time, that didn't happen at that time. That was, before this, okay?
Since we're going to issue about the building, why can't y'all get out of that contract? I understand that.
Get out.
I asked you, can I let them answer? Ms. Coons, why can't y'all get out of that contract?
But we haven't tried to.
Okay, so if they
We haven't tried
as
to.
a whole of the city, just get it refinanced. At 9%, you can get it for 7 to 6%. That's all I'm
building-
saying. Get it refinanced.
Okay, we have someone who's gonna, I don't wanna get into that, let's don't take that, okay? All right, okay, but anyway, not a penny to us, okay? So anyway, but it's a long story, and I'm not gonna, I beg to not be divulged, who's doing this or whatever.
But if we just talk about transparency, so why can't? I mean,
Well, the thing about it is,
We need to hear it.
but the thing about it is that, would you really, where would you put the city workers?
Well, I can't tell you right now,
Out
but
there
I
on
bet
the
if you
county
put us
property.
as a group, we could help you.
County property.
Wait a minute, I mean, there's a lot of people in here with, you know.
Where about?
That's what property you saying
What property you all talking, that would be,
Something about out there by where the county shop is.
I explained to him John Schumann on all that property out there.
well, we'll look into it. We're not beyond looking into it. But all we knew at the time, we had to get them out of that building. We didn't want lawsuits. And those guys, one guy is still cannot breathe properly right now from inhaling that,
So what's gonna be done with that property?
that property there. Eventually, we'll have to tear it down, and it would be for sale.
Yeah, I know Ms. Birdie said she took the, responsibility of making that decision, she said that in the meeting this morning. But was it ever brought to the citizens or ever brought to the council?
I brought it to the
I
council.
took responsibility for bringing it to the
Okay,
council.
I knew you said that this morning.
Yeah,
Those that
the
voted
mayor
yes.
signed
So the
security.
council made the decision, but it wasn't put to the citizens to ask for some help to do that.
It was brought to the council where it should have been brought to, and we voted on it.
But that's a lot of money that,
Can we get a copy of that appraisal?
yeah, we need a copy of that.
Okay.
I have a question, and it's not in relation to that. I mean, if you had to move employees, you had to move them. And if nobody's giving you any kind of advice on it, then that's what it is. Y'all can have that later. But the question I have is, for the increase, is this to drive change or to maintain what's going on? Like, is the goal, because almost 100% is the goal to make changes, or is it just to maintain what we have
You talking about with the budgets?
with the budget?
With the budgets. It's pretty much to keep the city afloat.
So it's not really
With
going.
keeping, police officers, we want the security of the system, of the city, with our police officers. But just as someone iterated a few minutes ago, you can't hire someone paying them, a police officer and paying them $19, $18 an hour anymore. You're not gonna get anybody. We have advertised, we have gone all over begging, for police officers or whatever it is, and no one applied. And so we couldn't find anybody.
We couldn't find grass cutters.
And can't find grass cutters to maintain the grass being cut. And it's hard because, people don't wanna work. They don't wanna work. And then you offer them minimum wage, they're not gonna work for that. So what do you do? Let me say this into you all. I know some of you all looking at me, but this is a tough job. And it's a thankless job. Very thankless. And it's at the point where that if you care about people and you care about the city, you come to rescue whatever it is that's going on. And that's what we've been trying to do. We've been trying to bring restoration to the city financially. We've been trying to make sure that we bring employees back, or employees here to be able to operate the city, because none of you all are gonna work for minimum wage. I wouldn't think so. And so it's hard, and like someone said a few minutes ago, we paid their insurance. Yeah, we paid their insurance because it's trying to offer a package deal to make sure that we get people to work in the city. But when I tell you people do not want to work, and they don't want to work for minimum wages, that's what you got. And this younger generation is not going to work for those small dollars. So we have to create budgets enough that we can pay the employees and take care of the employees. I wouldn't want my family working in a black mold building, in sick.
Yeah, but we don't need to pay 2 and 3 times.
We don't need people suing us either. We don't need employees suing us.
No, we don't.
Look, I went in that building 2 years ago, I looked at those pictures, and I even know that building, because of lack of maintenance and not taking care of the property around it, and not just putting windows back in that property and fixing the leaks in the roof, y'all cause your own problem there. I mean, it's
That problem, Mr. Crosby.
Ma'am?
Mr. Crosby, right?
That's right.
That building has been dilapidated for a long time.
Okay.
It didn't happen overnight.
Why wasn't it maintained?
Don't ask me, because,
2 years ago when it looked
but the
like
thing
that.
about it was not by the city. When they got ready to turn it over, they turned it over to the city. That building was dilapidated then. Trees was growing on top of the building.
Why couldn't somebody take the time to properly fix it the right way?
Well,
in order
we
to
tried.
maintain the property?
We tried to do the roof, and it was as a flat roof, and it was expensive. It was expensive. And believe it or not, there was no air in the building.
But we couldn't have taken that $400,000 and rented the baby.
I doubt it. Not with that offer down there. Yeah, but anyway, we're here to talk about the budget, whatever it is, and then, I've got another meeting to be here at 7. But anyway, I appreciate you coming, Mr. Curtis, all of us do. And, council members, y'all wanna say anything or whatever?
I will say that we did try to, get some plans on building the building, and one building was over $100,000.
And then there's asbestos in building.
One little.
What?
Yeah, it was just like something for an office, just an office pretty much, where they could go in and cool off. It was like for some kind of storage building, but.
Something like that with a shower in it.
Shower, whatever.
Where you can
I
have
think
your
just
eyes
maybe everybody
washed.
will.
I built one.
Or something, something big comes up like that.
25, 50, $40,000.
Well, you had the right person, but the ones that the 3 bids we got were over $100,000.
You know, it's just me now, but I get a little confused. Every time I come, I've been coming here for almost like 3 years, and off and on. And every time we come, all we do is bitch and complain, man, about something. I'm not saying nothing about nobody, I'm just saying, we don't never walk through the door and say, hey, look, I got a solution for this. Or, hey, look, we're doing good at that. Hey, let's build on that. I mean, and every time it's the same people that seem to come in here with a different agenda. We don't never get to move forward because we still talking about stuff for 3 years ago. We were talking about the same stuff 3 years ago when I started coming here. We got to have a better system of how to run our city. If you love this city, then you need to come in here with some good ideas sometime. You need to, hold up, I'm gonna let you speak,
I got some problems.
Okay, but that's what I do then. But I'm just saying that since I've been sat down here, it's still the same thing, guys. If you love this city like you say you love this city, then we need to work together and start doing some positive stuff instead of coming in here all the time with a whole bunch of negative. We walk through the door with negative. What's behind that? What's this? What's that? That's all I'm saying. I'm not talking about nobody. Nobody.
Well,
I'm just saying.
Everybody has to be aware of a problem to come together as a group to say, let's do this solution, go home, think about it, and then let's come back and act on it. And everybody do a presentation or present. Same way when that building got sold many years ago, none of y'all's problem, but nobody knew about it till after the damn fact. And then by the time we were doing solutions, come to find out it was all null and void and had already been decided anyway. So you have to come together and say, this is before us, and let's come together and everybody could, because there are business people in other parts of this, not claiming to be one, but that have run other stuff, that when we come in and come together and collaborate, then we can come up with something and it can be, everybody feels like they're working on a
Let me
team.
ask y'all this, okay? I know did y'all go to the county when the county raised their taxes?
I followed up.
They didn't raise them
They didn't raise it 94%.
No, I'm just saying, but we haven't raised taxes in this city for over 7 years.
The reason the county has a tax sale
The reason the county has a tax
is because of my efforts.
Well, we had.
And they just had one. When was your last?
Well,
10 years ago?
it's been a while, cause I mean, I don't, what I'm saying, listen to me,
Don't point fingers.
No, listen to me, listen to me, this administration, we didn't do it.
You asked for
We
a
didn't do
job.
this, we didn't do this, why didn't you ask other
You asked for a
administration?
job.
No.
Nobody told you to take this job. You ran to be city council
No,
members.
no.
You
Well,
ran
why don't you all run?
responsibility.
Why don't you all run?
Well, the same people
No problem.
getting elected, reelected, and then we have the same.
What did, y'all didn't have,
problem over and over.
where's the opposition at? Where's the opposition? Where's the opposition?
Don't run.
And where,
Don't run.
let's say this right here.
You can all resign.
The thing is, well, a lot of people quit from up here, even the employees quit.
Sure.
We didn't have anybody up here that was, everybody quit.
Where's Doug?
Where's Doug Williams?
He's as sick as bed.
Yeah, true, you know.
Where?
I messaged him. That's what he told me.
Listen, to everyone, thank you for coming, and,
I wanna ask just one question.
yes, ma'am.
How much back taxes are still on the books that people have not paid their city tax? How many delinquent taxes are out there?
We will give you an accurate figure. I can give you kind of a ballpark off the top of my head. Probably around 80,000,
How much?
around 80,000, something like that. But we'll give you an accurate figure on, Thursday, that's what it is.
Thursday at 6, right?
Thursday 6, did you see, he said Thursday 6, so that is one. And we did have, was it GTS? We had GTS that is working on that. GTS is working on that, for the back taxes or whatever, and then, maybe we can move forward with that. But I'm gonna say this to you all, and I'm through. It's been a hard road here. A thankless job. $200 a month or whatever, that ain't nothing compared to the hours we put in up here. Okay, someone told me today, said you had some long hours up here, I do. Because I love the city. And I take it home with me as well, too, trying to work for a better day. And I say to you all as citizens, it's okay to point a finger, but you got something pointed back at you. But we don't do what we're supposed to do as well. I mean, there's nothing wrong. I don't have a problem with you all coming, coming to a meeting or whatever it is. But you only show up when there's a whole lot of hell going on. Yeah, that's true too. That's true too. But I would appreciate it that sometimes nobody says thanks for looking after employees. Nobody says thanks for trying to make sure that bills are paid on time. Nobody says thanks to the employees that's been, I mean, sometimes they don't stop for lunch. So, I don't know, but anyway. I wish it was a different story, but I'm through.
All right, so we'll come back Thursday at 6 o'clock. Okay, maybe we can have a better understanding. Y'all just bear with it.
But see if y'all can get out of that $400,000. Yeah, report that back.
Y'all, I tell you what you do, y'all come back with some ideas where we can face those employees.
Well,
They need to be at work.
You come back where you all have secured someplace and you know that we can move those people from out there into a facility that is rain-free, mold-free, the roof is not leaking.
They need a warehouse, how big they need? How big of a warehouse?
I don't know,
What are their
because you know,
needs?
they need grounds to put all of the equipment and stuff. And on top of it, you need an extra room for chemicals. There has to be an extra area out there for nothing but chemicals.
What kind of resolution is this?
Okay, all right.
All right, we thank y'all for coming and we listen at y'all concerns and we'll take them under consideration. Just like I said, she said, bear with us. We gonna satisfy somebody, but not everybody, and you can't say. Thank be to God, we keep the city afloat. And like she said, it hadn't been easy. If I don't know what I know today, I wouldn't be sitting here. Because I didn't know really what till I got involved. The only way you gonna get involved, is be here daily. You can't come up here once in a while and say, well, blah, 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 blah. So you home half the time. You gotta come up here daily, you'll find out it's not a piece of cake. It's not a piece of cake.
But aren't you running